Yakuza Like a Dragon was the one that got away. I was so busy with other games when it was originally released back in November of 2020 and never got around to playing it. But with its sequel, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, coming out soon, I felt it was now the perfect time to finally play its prequel. For a bit of context, I am not the biggest Yakuza fan going around. I did play some of the earlier Yakuza games and enjoyed them, but I was nowhere near up to date with Kazuma Kiryu's story, which is why I was happy to jump into this as it features a brand new protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga. To put it simply, it really didn't take long to become clear that I waited way too long on this one. Yakuza Like a Dragon is incredible to the point that I sacrificed a lot of sleep over it, which says a lot because I bloody love my sleep. If you unfortunately missed out on this one too, then let this review be your wake-up call. If you're someone who likes fun, then Yakuza Like a Dragon is the game for you. Before we get into the review, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and sub for more RPG content coming soon. It'll help out a lot. You can also hit that super thanks if you'd like to support the channel. Alright, let's get into it. The majority of Yakuza Like a Dragon takes place in Yokohama. After taking the fall for the Arakawa family of the Tojo clan and spending 18 years behind bars, Ichiban is released from prison to find that things have changed. Not only is everyone stuck into their smartphones, but the Tojo clan has been replaced by the Omi Alliance. Investigating just what went down over the past 18 years with the Arakawa family and what happened to the Tojo clan is Ichiban's first objective, and this leads him down a rabbit hole of conspiracies. Long story short, and to avoid any spoilers, the storytelling, writing, dialogue, and voice acting is all exceptional. I was hooked from the very start, and Like a Dragon did not let me go.
What's going on? There's some crazy.
Damn it! Open, you piece of shit! Open!
Should we call the police?
While the main story is very mature and serious, there is plenty of humour sprinkled throughout, which is something that not too many games tend to do. One minute you may be learning about a character's tragic childhood, and the next you could be watching a conversation like this.
Ichi! Perfect timing. We've got a huge problem.
What's wrong?
The toilet's all clogged up and we can't find a plunger anywhere.
A plunger?
Yeah, that thing you use when there's shit stuck in the pipes.
Yeah, I know what it is, but come on! We're Yakuza, not your handyman!
Well, excuse me. I suppose it wasn't me who cleaned you up every time you shit yourself.
I was a baby!
Huh, you had accidents until 5th grade!
One time! And my stomach was killing me that day!
And a big shout out has to go to the incredible cast of characters. Ichiban is now one of my favourite protagonists ever. He may have been part of the Yakuza and is a little rough around the edges, but he has a huge heart and it didn't take long for me to fall in love with him. He would seriously make the ultimate best friend. And the quality doesn't stop there. The supporting characters are all so well written, with their stories slowly unraveling as your bond level with them increases. It's also very refreshing to play as a group of older characters who are mostly in their 30s and 40s. For the most part, Like a Dragon is very well presented. The locations look amazing, with every inch of the city having a massive amount of detail. It really feels alive, and I didn't want to just run through it. I wanted to look around and soak in everything, as no two corners look the same. In regards to the audio, the soundtrack is really awesome and the voice acting, like I said, is top tier, and this really helps drive home the key parts of the story. I just wish all of the required story scenes were voice acted. Most of them are, but occasionally there is written dialogue, even at times when it feels like it's an important scene.
He really pisses me off for a hot guy.
It's always the sexy ones who piss you off the most.
Yep, that's why I prefer to associate with you guys.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Story and characters aside, the other best part of Like a Dragon is taking part in the plethora of side quests, minigames, and other challenges. There is a lot to do, and it would take completionists well over 100 hours to see and collect everything. Most of the side quests are pretty good, with some having full voice acting and some not. In true Yakuza spirit, most of these are pretty goofy, with some being very out there, such as this one, which I did not see coming.
Not so fast, Chief! You got balls stepping into my big comfy crib. Think you can waltz in here and spoil our fun? Come on, boys! Let's pacify this bitch!
Sir!
But it's this humour that gives Yakuza its charm, and my laughs were definitely not in short supply. Something else that wasn't in short supply is the minigames. Like a Dragon is second to none when it comes to quality and quantity in its minigames. They can be found around every corner of the city, ranging from batting cages to can collection, to staying awake at the movie theatre, to the full arcade mode of Virtua Fighter 5. Many of these minigames have their own progression mechanics and unique sets of rewards, so it is worth investing time into every one of them if you want to get the most out of the game. And while I found most of the minigames thoroughly enjoyable, there were two major minigames that really stood out above the rest. First is a property management simulator where you'll need to purchase businesses, hire and train employees, and battle your stakeholders in order to take your business empire to the top. Then there's Dragon Kart, which is like a Dragon's very own Mario Kart style minigame. Here, there are different karts to unlock and upgrade and a load of tracks and tournaments to enter. You know a game gets it right when you seriously can't decide what to do. Should I take on some side quests? Should I build my business empire? Should I try to become the greatest Dragon Karter ever? Or should I just chill at the bar and sing some karaoke?
Just one kiss, not two kisses, not 100. I've got a full clip of love for you, baby.
Yeah!
Simply put, Like a Dragon made me feel like a little kid in an amusement park, and few games have ever had this appeal. But this amusement park does have its dark side, and that is in its dungeon design, which left a lot to be desired. The progression through each dungeon is basically the same. Travel to the next room, fight a mob, pick up some items, then repeat. There is one particular example of this that really demonstrates my point, and if you play the game, you'll know that I'm talking about those bloody Yokohama sewers. This dungeon is linear, full of right-angle turns, with each room looking exactly like the last, but the worst thing is, it never ends. I kept thinking, okay, this has to be the last area, but it never was. It just kept on going. In a game that is otherwise top tier in just about every way, I really don't know what the devs were thinking here. Yakuza Like a Dragon is a series' first attempt at turn-based combat, and for the most part it works well enough. As you're roaming the streets, you'll initiate battle with mobs if you get too close to them. This is not a place that you'd want to raise kids, as at times it seems that everybody wants to beat the crap out of you. The actual combat mechanics are pretty basic, with each of your 4 characters able to attack, use a skill, defend, or use an item. What I liked about this combat is how it manages to capture the beat-em-up style that the series is known for, despite it being turn-based. Just take the camera for instance. It is a single camera shot that rotates around the battlefield depending on whose turn it is, and this kinda reminds me of a bystander filming a street fight. And while you do have all the time in the world to input your actions, your enemies will constantly be moving around, meaning that if you wait too long, you may lose your chance to pull off an effective AoE attack. Not only this, but if you try to attack an enemy that's behind another enemy, you may get intercepted. The level of interactivity is also increased by timing certain button presses. If you press circle at the moment an enemy attacks, damage will be reduced. Furthermore, many skills require button inputs to maximize damage. However, I do wish there was more variety here. The only 2 required inputs are spam square or time a triangle press. Something that I really liked is that Ichiban can use his phone to summon others. The list of those that you can call will increase as more side quests are completed around town.
I summon you!
For the majority of the game, battles seem to be at a good difficulty level. I spent a lot of time doing side activities and as a result, got through most of the bosses without any problems. But then, there is one certain fight later in the game that will be my new textbook example of difficulty spike. It was just ridiculous and required me to load a previous save and grind my ass off. While this combat is more than serviceable, it is also far from perfect. At times, things can feel very repetitive as you're forced to fight mob after mob, doing the exact same thing every single time. This is especially evident early in the game when you only have a few skills to choose from. In fact, it took about 10 hours for the job system to finally open up. The jobs work pretty much how you'd expect. Each character has their own unique starting job class, with the male characters being able to choose from an additional 8 jobs and females an additional 4 jobs. As you gain job EXP, the job level will increase, unlocking job-specific skills and permanent stat increases. There are also 2 skills per job that can be learnt permanently, so it's worth changing them every so often to increase your repertoire of skills. I experimented with all of these jobs at least once, but usually just had each character focus on a couple of jobs and select the job that I currently have the strongest weapon for. I do, however, wish that there was more jobs on offer to encourage me to experiment a little bit more. Yakuza Like a Dragon was one hell of a ride. People have been raving about this game for years, and now I can finally understand why. Ichiban's first adventure is one for the ages, and this story was one of my favourite things about the game. And a big reason for this is because of the brilliant cast of characters, especially the main man himself, Ichiban Kasuga. But when I wasn't working through the main story, I was getting completely lost in all of the side content. There is so much to do, especially when it comes to the excellent minigames. While all of the positives make Like a Dragon a must play, there were a couple of things that I would like to see improved in the next installment. First is the combat, which is by no means terrible, but it is pretty simple and can be quite repetitive. Then there's a dungeon design, which leaves a lot to be desired. Yokohama sewers, nuff said. Yakuza Like a Dragon was an amazing experience, and if you want a game with a great story and where you can get lost in the side activities for hours on end, then Like a Dragon is your guy. I was looking forward to its sequel, Infinite Wealth, before, but now it'll be a day one purchase for me. I cannot wait. What did you think of Like a Dragon? Do you agree with what I said? Let me know in the comments below. This was Hellfire RPGs, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and sub for more RPG content coming soon. See you next time.